Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I welcome you all to your social studies class. Today, we are going to cover our second chapter, that is globe, maps, and their uses. So, let's move. Okay. So, first, we are going to understand that what is a globe. Okay, can you read it here? If we draw an accurate map of Earth on a round body like a football, it will become a model of Earth. It is called globe. Okay, I'll explain it for you. That globe is a man made three-dimensional spherical model of our planet Earth. The globe shows the exact shape and location of the continents, countries, oceans, and seas. Okay. Okay. Now, the next thing is that what is a map? Okay. Now we are going to understand that what is a map. Can you see the picture here? Yes. According to them that this is the map of the school. It is called plan. Okay. So we will understand this map. Can you see it here? That here is a principal office, staff room, accounts office, canteen, and a playground here. There is a block A, block B. So this is the map of your school. Now let's see what is a map. What is the meaning of a map? Okay. Okay, it is written here that map is a representation of the whole earth or part of it on a flat surface or paper. ठीक है? And according to a given scale. And I'll tell you later what is a scale. And it just seems as you are looking at that place from a height overhead. Okay, so maps are the two-dimensional representation. You remember I told you that globe is three-dimensional spherical model. But map is, what is a map? That maps are the two-dimensional representation of the globe. They are drawn on a paper or a flat surface like a wall or a board and help to understand a specific limited part of the earth. ठीक है बेटा? On the globe you can see the whole earth, but on the map you can only understand a specific limited part of the earth. Okay, then maps also facilitates a detailed study of the physical aspect of the earth. Okay, now let me repeat it for you that globe is a spherical three-dimensional representation of the earth. Map is also a two-dimensional. Map is a two-dimensional representation. Acha. This is the difference between the earth, the globe and the map. Acha. So globe covers area in a broader form, but maps are more detailed. Okay. Then globes are not easy to carry around. You cannot easily carry the globe, but maps can be folded and you can carry it easily. And as you can see in the picture too, that globe is round and map is flat. ठीक है? Okay, now the next slide. Now we are going to understand that what is the importance of the map. Why do we need maps? Okay, so our earth is a big place. What is the shape? Where do we live on it? What type of place is that where we live? What type of places are situated around us? And what type of connection we have with other surrounding places? So there are so many questions, and these questions can be answered with the help of the map. Okay, so we need a map for it if we want to find out the answers for these questions. So, map is a drawing of a place. It is an accurate drawing of a place. Remember, it is an accurate drawing of a place. Okay, I'll explain this with this picture in your book. Can you see that this is a picture of the Muzaffarabad city where two rivers, Neelam and Jhelum, are combining. And then here is a kind of a sketch here. This picture, the next one, it is like a sketch of this picture. Okay. So we draw those things which are actually physically existing there. You can see in this picture, when we can see these two rivers here, in actual we can see it, but in sketch we are trying to show it here too. Okay? So, so all those things which are physically existing there, the feature of the places, I mean, okay. So maps are made to know the exact feature of the place that we haven't visited before, even, and also we can calculate the distances between two or more places. Okay, we can calculate the distances between the two places. Okay, now I want to explain something to you. Okay, but before explaining this picture, here it is written that conventional signs. So what are conventional signs? But okay, what are conventional signs? That this is a map prepared according to the scale and direction in which conventional signs have also been used. On every map, at the end of the map or one side of the map, you can find a figure like this, a diagram like this. It is written here, conventional signs. You can see it. Okay, can you see there are different symbols here? For a mosque, there is a little mosque they have drawn here. Okay, and whenever you see a ground with some peaks, so definitely that is for the mountains, you can understand. And the colors also shows different things. Okay, can you see it? Yeah, this metal road is of maroon color. Okay, and let me more. Yes, for the bridge, there is a kind of bridge they have drawn it here. So these are the conventional signs. Like you can easily find out what is there. Okay, acha. So now let's move to the next slide. These are components of the map. Okay, components of the map. What is the meaning of the component? The parts of the map. Okay, the first one is, there are four components of the map, any map. Okay, you will definitely find these four things on any map. The first is directions, second is scale, third is latitude and longitude, and the fourth one is conventional signs. Already I explained these conventional signs to you because the figure was there. So I'll explain it later too. Okay, so the directions. First, do you know the directions? Who is going to tell me? Okay, good, very good. You know the directions. So, to know about the directions, there is a very simple and interesting activity. Okay, how you can find the directions. Okay, if you stand facing east, there on your right is south, left is north, and on your back is west. This is a very simple activity. With the help of this, you can find out that where are the directions or what are the directions. Okay. Okay, maps are drawn on the basis of directions. Remember this thing. Maps are always drawn on the basis of the directions. Okay. Now, there are two types of directions: cardinal points and primary directions, or primary directions, you can call them. The first one is cardinal points or primary directions. And what are they? East, west, north, and south. Yes, you can see it here in this figure. See? East, west, north, and south. These are called cardinal points. Okay. And then there are some other directions too, okay, between the cardinal parts. These are called secondary directions. Okay, you can also see it here in your book. Okay, east, west, north, and south. And then in the middle of these directions, you can find out some more directions: northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. Is it clear? Good. So there are two types of directions. Good. Now we will move to the other page, and now we are going to understand what are the types of north. What are the types of north? Okay, remember one thing, north is, okay, these are the types of north. Remember one thing, the direction north is very important. North is a very important direction on the map. It is shown by an arrow on the upper side of the map. It is shown by an arrow on the upper side of the map. And there are two types of north: geographic north and magnetic north. Okay, now what is geographic north? The direction in which the North Pole is situated is the geographic north. It can be detected by the polar star, which remain always overhead North Pole. Okay, you can always detect this one. You can always detect this geographic north with the polar star. Then the next is magnetic north. Okay, but before we discuss this magnetic north, okay, what is magnetic north and what is compass rose? Okay, can you see in this picture here? This is compass rose. A compass always direct north. Now, how does the compass know that north? Where is the north? Okay, so compass rose helps us to know the direction. So these letter N, E, can you see it here? N, E, W, S are the directions. North is always on the top. North is always on the top. So our earth has a magnetic field, and like a magnetic bar, it has two ends. One is magnetic north and magnetic south. And magnetic north can be traced by an instrument known as magnetic compass or compass rose, as I told you. And so we can find out the magnetic north with the help of the magnetic compass. Okay, and there is interesting information for you that magnetic north is situated near North Pole in the Canadian island of Prince Wales. Now the next slide. Scale. What is a scale? Now we are going to understand what is a scale. Now look at the corner of the map, any map, okay? Or just go to the first picture. Look, it looks like a ruler, okay? And it is called map scale. It shows how far things really are. Okay? Can you see in this picture here, the classroom map? 1.5 centimeter door, 3 centimeter window, and 2 centimeter blackboard. So this is the plan of the classroom, and the actual length of the ground is 8 meters and width is 6 meters. So we cannot show the classroom on the and its actual length on the piece of a paper. So a ratio is established between ground and map distance. This is called scale. So the scale of the classroom represents 8 meters of ground by 8 centimeter on paper. 8 meters of ground by 8 centimeter of paper. You cannot show this 8 meters on the piece of the paper. So you will just establish a ratio and you will draw their 8 centimeter line to show the ground. Okay, and now what are the types of the scales? Okay, so the scales can be described with three methods. One is called as a statement. 1 centimeter is equal to 1 meter. This is called statement of the scale. Fraction means 1 centimeter, 100 centimeters. This is called fraction. 1 meter has been converted into 100 centimeter. Okay, so that there are same units for the ratio. This is called representative fraction. And the linear scale, as a horizontal line, can you see it here? Yes, there is a horizontal line, shows the ratio between ground and map distance. See? Good. Now, longitude and latitudes. Now we are going to understand what are longitude and latitudes. Okay, to need like if you want to know the exact location the exact location of a place. Okay, exact location of a place, we need latitude and longitude. These are, remember one thing, these are imaginary lines, beta. Okay, these are imaginary lines. If you want to see the exact location of a place on earth, so it is shown by latitude and latitude on a map. So the lines of latitude or latitude, what does it mean, मतलब इसका क्या मतलब है? The line on a map which divides the earth into northern and southern hemisphere is called equator. And I want you people to see this picture too, okay? Good. So, the lines of attitude are also called parallel parallels from a circle from east to west. You can see this in this picture. These lines are same distance apart, about 69 miles, and 69 mile is 1 degree. Each degree is divided into smaller lines. These are 100 minutes. There are 160 minutes in 1 degree. There are 60 minutes in 1 degree and 60 seconds in 1 minute. Okay, let me repeat it for you again. That lines of latitude are also called parallels, circle from east to west. These lines are of same distance apart, about 69 miles. 69 miles is 1 degree. Each degree is divided into smaller lines. These are 60 minutes. There are 60 minutes in 1 degree and 60 seconds in 1 minute. Okay. The equator lies 0 degree halfway between the north and south pole. You can see it here. Okay, in this picture. The equator lies 0 degree halfway between the north and south pole. Okay. So there are 180 degree latitudes from north pole to south pole, 90 degree in the north of the equator and 90 degree in the south of equator. Okay. Now let's see what is longitude. The line on the map which divides the earth into eastern and western hemisphere is called prime meridian. Okay. The angular measurement of a place taken from prime meridian is shown by lines. These lines join together at north and south poles. Okay, north and south poles are called longitudes. The line on the map which divides the earth into north and south. The lines join together at north and south places are called longitudes. Okay, so there are 360 longitudes on the globe, 180 degree on the east of prime meridian and 180 degree on the west of the prime meridian up to the international date line. Okay, so the location of the place on the map is found with the help of latitude and longitude. As I told you, if you want to find out the exact location. Okay, the places with the north latitude are searched in the northern hemisphere, and places with the south latitude are searched in the southern hemisphere. Similarly, the places with east longitude are searched in the east of prime meridian, and the places with west longitude are searched in the west of prime meridian. Okay, now the next. Okay, now we are going to discuss a very interesting topic, and that is time zone. Okay, now first tell me what time it is. Good, so you can tell the time. Okay, time is same for you and me right now, but time will be different for people in the different parts of the world. Okay, time is same for you and me because we are living in Pakistan, but the people who are living in the different parts of the world, they will be having different time right now. Maybe morning for us and bedtime for the others. So it depends on what time zone you are in. Okay. We can calculate the time difference between two countries with the help of the longitude. And what is a time zone? A time zone is a region of Earth which is bound by longitudinal lines. These lines called meridians. Okay? These lines are called meridians, as I discussed it in the last slide. Okay, so meridians went vertically from north to the south pole, each 15-degree apart. Remember, each 15-degree apart. Meridians break world into 24 time zone. I'll repeat it again. Meridians break world into 24 time zone. A time difference of one zone per hour occurs with the rotation of the earth. What is the cause? The time difference of one zone per hour occurs with the rotation of the earth. Remember this thing? It is because of the rotation of the earth. The earth, okay, and if it is say 2 p.m. in one meridian, 30 degrees west will be 2 time zones or 2 hours behind. And between zone 0 and 24 lies the international date line. When you cross to one date to the next, who decide what time it is and where? So whatever time is now, it is the result of the historic event in 1884. This is for your information, that whatever time is now, it is the result of the historic event in 1884 at the International Meridian Conference. Sir Stanford Fleming proposed the time begin at Greenwich, London. He was the first person who proposed that time begins at Greenwich, London. Okay. Acha. And now there is some more interesting information for you here in your book, that international time difference is calculated from the prime meridian, which is the central longitude. It is also called Greenwich meridian because it passes on the map through Greenwich, a place in London. And as I told you, that it was proposed by Sir Stanford Fleming. Okay, I hope you have understood this time zone. And there is an activity for you. I want you people to do this activity. Okay? There is a question for you. And now you will tell me, I'll see that who is going to do it first. That if time in Greenwich is 12 noon, find the time of Lahore, Pakistan. The longitude of Lahore is 75 degree east. Okay, good. Shabash. The whole picture is here. And you are going to understand this thing. Okay. Now, the next slide, and uses of map. Why do we want to use the map? Why we use map? So it tells us that where we live on earth. It tells us about the direction. We also need map for tourism if you want to go somewhere. And the scale of map help us to understand ground distances. Maps keeps us in touch with different parts of the world. It helps us to understand different environments found on the world. In the world, okay? War planning can be done with the help of these maps, and it is also a very important source to show distribution of crops, minerals, and industries. Weather conditions are also shown with the help of maps, and maps provide guidance for land, water, and air travel. Okay, so students, this is the end of chapter 2. Inshallah, next week we will cover our third chapter. Till then, Allah Hafiz. Take care.